Don't you think this is starting to wear on me? You've been raining down like hail. I'm weak. I have tried to give you my soul, but you can't love something you own. It's too late to repair what we made. What can I do? Time flashed by and I woke up on the other side of the moon.
G'day everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Anna and this is You Got Me in Stitches. Today I am coming in at you with a hashtag challenge. The hashtag is called #FrugalFrock 2021 and it was created by Sam from Frugalissima and Roanne, the Yorkshire Sew Girl. This challenge is open to everybody, and I think originally the two lovely ladies were thinking this is going to kind of be a little bit small, and then it has escalated. So yeah, there's a bunch of vloggers all taking part, so you can click on the hashtag and then you get to see all the vloggers making their videos, and it's not too dissimilar like a vlog hub where each day everybody is assigned to that day and then they tell about the fabrics and the free patterns that is going to be in their kind of what they're going to decide what to make. We don't know what everybody is going to make until the reveal date, and that will be on March 31st. And yeah, so primarily it's over on Instagram, and we will reveal a dress in the fabric on that date for everybody to see. But also I'm sure, like myself, I'm also going to do a separate video to show and tell about which dress and fabric that I decided to make. Also, this challenge has prizes, so that adds to the fun as well. Now, do not worry if you do not have a channel. Like I said, you can show and tell about your fabrics and patterns. And the idea kind of behind Frugal Frocks is to find a frock dress pattern that is free, and there is quite a few thoughts in how you can come across free patterns. TE will very kindly insert an image, then you can see the list of vloggers. So like I said before, each day a vlogger will show and tell about their free frock patterns and the fabrics that they may or may not choose to go with those patterns. So the first point there is to only search out free frocks, and I just talk through about how you can kind of go about finding a free frock dress pattern. The second point is the fabric that you're going to make your frock garment out of has to come from your collection. Now, whether that be a small collection or a large collection, and it does not have to actually be modern fabrics, it could be vintage fabrics, so it's whatever you decide from your fabric collection. You then create your garment, your frock, during the month of March, so you've got kind of a little while before that reveal date on March 31st. So yeah, you can play around and decide what fabrics that you are going to use for your frock. And yeah, so that leads me on to how about finding where to look and search out some free frock patterns. Righto, so starting off with PDFs, Sam herself has covered the majority of where to pick up free patterns, so if you've not already checked out that video, that will be in the link that I linked to her main channel, so if you'd like to check that out. And yeah, quite a few sewing companies do provide lots of free patterns, but because this is a frugal frock challenge, then the rule is to only search out the frock or dress patterns that are free via PDF. If you are a little like me and kind of shy away from PDFs and for whatever reason not able to print them out yourself, there are obviously companies that can help out like that. But along the free side of things, you can still get free PDFs without actually having to go on their websites. And the same with printed patterns, and that is maybe entering a challenge on a multimedia platform, and if you're lucky and you win, then you win either a PDF or a printed pattern. Also, that includes giveaways and challenges, so a couple of things there that give a person a chance to be able to win something. So that's kind of frugal. Also, it might also be a book which actually has patterns in. So there are lots of sewing pattern books out there, and if you're lucky in a giveaway or a challenge to win something like that, that is also another route to go down and look for patterns for free. Also with pattern swaps as well, sometimes you can swap, say, some fabric, and in exchange you get some patterns, whether they are PDF or printed. And the sewing magazines, they also provide sewing printed patterns that accompany with the book, but also within the inside of the book. Sometimes you can go onto our website and then pick up a PDF pattern that way, which is also free. So just as an example, these are some of the sewing books that are out there where you can acquire some free patterns along with those sewing magazines. Then of course there's also the fun side of free things like Chrissy gifts, birthday, Valentine's, or maybe something at work. Colleagues have kind of routed around and come up with maybe a gift voucher, and then maybe you could go and purchase some patterns. So technically, I know somebody kind of paid for that gift voucher, but to you, when you've received it, you're not paying for it. So whatever you get with that voucher is technically free because you're not going into your money. Also, thank you gifts, appreciation gifts, or a best friend gift. There's lots of different ways patterns can be gifted to the recipient. So yeah, if you have a wish list and it's for a PDF and a printed pattern, that is also another way to think of perhaps adding to your collection, whether your collection is just starting out or if your collection has kind of grown over a certain amount of time. Then of course there is self-drafting. So if you're a little further along in your sewing journey, you could actually self-draft a frock for this challenge, and or maybe look at some thrifted clothes and or patterns that you have sewn up from free patterns before and actually change them into a frock. So yeah, there's plenty of ideas to kind of source free patterns and or from an actual garment itself. Maybe a t-shirt, Sam has suggested that, and change that into a dress, but it definitely has to be a dress. It can be whatever length. So yeah, there's lots of different fun ways of creating your dress. Not forgetting going to maybe your local library. Again, there are sewing books in there that will have the sewing patterns, and as long as it is a frock and you create it for yourself, yeah, so plenty of options there to kind of give you some ideas. Also, TE will link a website below called Bride in the Seams. And sometimes when you're looking around for free patterns, it's not always very size inclusive. So if you'd like to check that website out and have a look at the various choices that are there for availability for all different shapes and sizes of people, because at the end of the day we are all different shapes and sizes and free patterns should be there for everybody. Righto, so would you guys like to see the patterns and fabric that I have chosen? And yeah, so if you'd like to let me know what you might think I could be making, or yeah, or maybe I could be up to something else, who knows. Okay, let's get to the fabric and the patterns. Righto, so the first free pattern is a printed pattern. You've already seen this because it is this Butterick pattern, B6657, and it'd be view C, so it's the red one there. And the fabric is this, I believe it is rayon, viscose, and yeah, you guys may have already seen this previously in a fabric haul a little while ago. Yeah, so it is really soft and drapey. The very large spots are an off-white colour, so kind of a creamy colour. I really like this green, so I think the fabric would work really well in this pattern. Next up, I have a vintage pattern, so this Simplicity 8578, and I really like the view there, the green one that the lady is wearing. It has that little waist detail there. The fabric was also thrifted, and it was about, I think it was about 99 cents. Might even be less than that, might even been 50 cents. So this has been set in my collection for a while, and yeah, if I get it close enough you can see the little slabs in there. And yeah, I might have to do a little bit of finagling with this fabric because yeah, the cut is probably just over 1.5 yards, and I'm hoping to kind of eke this pattern out with this fabric. So yeah, I think these two would work really well. Next up is this New Look pattern 6130, and really like the detailing now of the front and also there along the back. And again, the fabric is thrifted. It is probably 100% polyester by the feel of it, and I've got just over 1.5 yards, and it is this red. It is so drapey and it is just like butter. It is incredibly slippery, so that is going to be fun to sew up. But yeah, so I think that fabric would work okay with that pattern. Next up, yet another vintage pattern, which is this one here, and yeah, I really like that. 4835, the line out there. And this was very free to me because somebody sent a thank you gift to me, and amongst a few other vintage patterns, obviously there was this one as well, which was included. And yeah, so, and you guys actually have not seen that pattern or the other ones. And like with the other thrifted fabrics there that you've seen of the two red ones, this fabric has also been thrifted. Now this is more of a mid-weight kind of poly mix poly cotton blend, and this is more for home furnishings. However, it does have quite a little bit of drape to it, but also a little bit of structure at the same time. And again, this is kind of a little bit slippery, and it has this pattern running through it as well. Yeah, so I think that would work together with that combination of the style of that kind of relatively basic dress, and it has that elastic waist, so that would kind of just then pull on or pull up and on. And now a shock, a PDF. This PDF, absolutely beautiful, and it's the Dahlia Dress, and from Glasshouse Patterns. And I won this, and I believe it's way back now in probably 2019. And this fabric I had won recently, so for those of you that have watched my channel in the last few weeks, you would have known that I won this floral fabric. Now I'm probably going to create a little bit of contention. Now I would call this floral. Some people would actually say animal print, but I think with the animal print ones, the rosettes are more defined. To me, that looks like petals, especially that one there in the middle. I'm going to stick with floral, so it's okay if you want to say animal print, but yeah, that's floral to me. So yeah, I think the Dahlia dress and the fabric there would work really good together. And there's 2.5 yards. Again, it has good drape to it, and I believe this is a rayon as well. It has a little tiny little bit of stitch in that, so I'm going to have to take that into consideration, because obviously any bias and some of it might drop. And for my final pattern, another PDF. I mean, oh my goodness, go girl. Yeah, but I won this one as well. This is the Kitty Dress by Sew Over It. And yeah, it's still just kind of left like with the Dahlia dress. Needs to all be stuck together. And I have thrifted fabric here, and I believe this was only 50 cents, or it may have actually been just something that somebody gave to me because it was actually left over. So it's a cotton fabric, and it has these tiny little florally leaves running through it, and this side you see it's kind of like daisies. And yeah, there's a good 2.5 yards with this as well, and I think it's kind of a mid-weight, but it's malleable enough to be kind of good, a little bit of structure, but also good for movement. So yeah, so there is the fabric and the pattern there, and I think they would complement each other. So yeah. So these are my choices for my patterns and the fabrics to go with each of the patterns. So if you guys kind of got a little idea of which one I might make, go for your life. You can put it in the comments. I'm not going to tell you, and you won't know until the reveal date on March 31st on Instagram. And also I'll then coincide that with a video. So yeah, let me know, are you joining in and taking part in this wonderful challenge? If so, do you have a channel or do you have an Instagram account? If you'd like to link that below or PM me it, please feel free to do that. Okay, so Again, thank you both to Sam and Roanne for organising Frugal Frocks 21 challenge. Really fun taking part, seeing what all the other vloggers and everyone else separate from vlogging but also in the same challenge, what their creativity is going to come up with and what they decide to sew with their beautiful fabrics. And I hope you are enjoying the kind of vlog hop as well. That everyone is taking part in. Okay, so thank you so much for stopping by, and if you like this, please give me a thumbs up and check out the links below. Okay guys, thank you.